Hey guys, welcome to the James Bond Show. It is Krazy Kajeevie here with you, with no fears, limits or substitutes. And this edition of the James Bond Show is brought to you by Dutch Bond fans Viagra, because he's a horny son of a bitch always talking about banging chickies. Alright guys, let's get into this. Put on the brakes, we got a special guest to introduce. Now, this is a little fella you have never seen. I'm just going to put his head up in the frame. See. This is the one, the only, Little Bobo. Little Bobo, do you know Grumpy Cat? You've all heard of Grumpy Cat that died? Well, this is Sad Cat. He's actually got a natural little sad face. So that is Sad Cat. I'm just trying to make it really hard for the Billy Hellish fans and the JoFag scumbags that are trolling my page to dislike this video, because you can't dislike a cute cat video. Yay! Okay, so that is Little Bobo. Oh, come on guys, let's have a laugh. And a Little Bobo, he's off with a bit of chicken. Okay, so Little Bobo is the brother of Mr. Ruggles. So there you go, that is Little Bobo. Guys, also, special one. Now, what I'm doing is a James Bond countdown, my favourite Bond actors, but I've got a little something I just want to show. So this is one of the specialty series of the new Pops Series 2 of the James Bond range, and that is Daniel Craig from Spectre. So that is Daniel Craig Spectre Pops, and guess what? It's not sponsored, I'm just showing it. Hey, but Pops, if you want to make a phone call. Okay guys, so let's get into this. This is my favourite James Bond actor list. So not actor as in the personality, but actor how the person portrayed James Bond. And I guess a little bit of their personality obviously has to come into this. So, okay, starting at 6, let's get into this. Actually, before I go on, I want to share something. So, I've got a whole bunch of people who want to see me smack an egg over my face, because I said that I would smack an egg over my face if Dua Lipa was not going to sing the James Bond song. Now, I've got no fears of smacking an egg over my face. I've smacked worse things over it. No penises, no penis jokes in the comment section. But okay, so now, I believe she did do the song. She did record the video for the song. She's done the song. I believe Dua Lipa did it. I believe that Eon have, in their desperation and also their cleverness, have gone and got Billy Hellish to do the song to get the little woke 15-year-olds, the little Billy Hellish fans, into the cinema. That's what I think's happened. So I still believe that Dua Lipa's song will appear either in the film, actually within the film, or end credits. So I'm thinking about holding off that egg. Okay, you guys, I'm going to buy that. You just want egg smashing. I think it's fair that we wait a bit and find out if she actually did do a song, and I reckon it's going to come out in the works, because I believe in from a source that she definitely did the song, and I think it's been dumped, and I just wonder if she's been paid out. But, so there you go, there's that. Also, a bit of news too. So Johnny Marr from The Smiths, a really cool band. A lot of their music is used in one of my favourite films of all time, 500 Days of Summer, which if you have not seen 500 Days of Summer, just go and get it. Go and get it on Blu-ray, watch it. It will be in your top 5, top 10 films of all time, 500 Days of Summer. And there's a line that Summer, played by Zooey Deschanel, says. She looks up at Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. He's listening to The Smiths on his headphone, and she can hear it, and she's like this in the elevator next to him, and she goes, I like The Smiths. Smiths are good. So Johnny Marr, guitarist from The Smiths, is working closely with Hans Zimmer on a new Bond theme. Now, I predicted that. I predicted, once I heard Johnny Marr was doing it, I thought, Zimmer's got him in to do what is Little Bobo doing. He's trying to get more chicken. So he's got him in to actually work on a new, funky, awesome James Bond theme. So the James Bond theme, but a version of the James Bond theme. So I reckon that's going to be really interesting. Now, apparently, Hans Zimmer has become friends with Billie Eilish, and he says that Billie Eilish's song is actually going to be worked right through the film. So there you go for the Billie Eilish fans that are working out whether they actually like me and they're going to get Kajeevie and actually think I'm kind of okay for the boomer that doesn't like Billie. But hey, I actually think she will do a really good song. That was never my issue. My issue just is with her private life and what she did to land that contract and lyrics like "My Lucifer is lonely" when she's specifically talking about Satan. But hey, what do I know? So, also the film is going to be epic at 3 hours. It's going to be, what is it? It's going to be apparently 2 hours and 53 minutes long. It's going to be a 3-hour film. It's going to be the longest running Bond film time-wise ever. And I think it's going to set the world record for the most car chases ever in a film, because that is all the action we've seen. Car chase, car chase, car chase, car chase, or else there's going to be a lot of them. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is probably going to outdo Quentin Tarantino. Okay, guys, let's get into this list. So, number 6, I'm going to belt through this. Number 6, James Bond for me, is Pierce Brosnan. To me, I thought he was good in Goldeneye, but when you watch Living Daylights, License to Kill and jump to Brosnan, that's not Bond. He never truly played Ian Fleming's Bond. He tried in bits like Tomorrow Never Dies, I admit. The Kaufman shooting, cool. The scenes in the world is not enough. He overacted, and even Pierce Brosnan himself came out and said that he can't watch his films back, and he was lost. And I've been telling people for years, the guy was lost in his performance. You can see it. And I got booed-hooed, and sure enough, Brosnan came out and literally said, I was lost in the performance. He didn't know if he was Sean or Roger or whatnot, and he couldn't quite pull off the Dalton stuff. And I think he overacted a lot, and I don't think enough of the directors he worked with pulled him back in. Though I think Martin Campbell, who's a very underrated director's actor, not just an action director, but an actor's director, I think he did a great job with Pierce in Goldeneye. Tomorrow Never Dies, Brosnan was kind of okay. Die Another Day, he was just going along for the ride, but he was too kind of smarmy, too smooth. He wasn't... The biggest problem for me with Pierce Brosnan is he was never believable as a secret agent, as a spy, as someone, as an assassin that would kill you. He was just never believable. So Pierce Brosnan is at number 6. Okay, my number 5 favourite James Bond is... Don't kill me for this, guys. Don't kill me for this. Daniel Craig. I'm not a fan of Daniel Craig. I'm not a fan of him as a person. I'm not a fan of Daniel Craig's era. I thought he was brilliant in Casino Royale. Now, anyone that says Daniel Craig is not Ian Fleming's James Bond is wrong. He was Ian Fleming's James Bond by way of acting, by way of story, in Casino Royale. He pulled that off. He also, like Timothy Dalton, are the only 2 actors to read all the James Bond novels. Did he look like Ian Fleming's description of James Bond? No, he didn't. That's a fact. Ian Fleming's Bond is 6'1". He's actually around 76 to 80 kilos, and brown hair, the lock of brown hair that came down, and even Casino Royale in the novel tells us that he looks like actor, singer, songwriter Hoagie Carmichael. So Daniel Craig looked nothing like the Fleming version, but he still played a great Bond. I think his Bond got lost in the mire and the sadness in Quantum of Solace. Then in Spectre, suddenly he's now old and ready for retirement, and I found his Bond not Spectre, Skyfall. I found his Bond so boring in Skyfall. I thought his Bond was so much more charming and fun in Spectre, but I think also because he's so dour and craggy, he's at number 5. So, number 6, Brosnan. Number 5, Daniel Craig. And number 4 is I love him, but he only did one Bond film. George Lazenby, for a non-actor, that guy, I don't care what anyone says, he did an incredible job. And I have directed non-actors before because I see it as a challenge. And any one of you, if you go in front of your mirror and you say, Bond, James Bond, and some of the lines that Lazenby had to deliver, say those lines in front of your bathroom mirror. And then record yourself doing it. And then think what Lazenby did up against the biggest star in the world. After he retired, Sean Connery retires, and Lazenby had to pick that up for a guy that had never acted a day in his life apart from in front of commercials, you know, like Big Fry or in front of the camera for his modelling. He was not a trained actor, so Lazenby did incredible. And I think if Lazenby, I've said this for years, I think if George Lazenby went on and did Bond film after Bond film, and especially if he ended up, depending on the timeline and how they did things in his era, if he had ever done The Spy Who Loved Me and did that line, all those feathers and he still can't fly, he would have been the greatest Bond ever. Like, seriously, he would have been the most popular Bond ever because he was funny, his line delivery of humour was great, and he would have just fit into the role by then. So yeah, what a pity he never came back to do another film. Okay, so we've got Brosnan, Craig, Lazenby. Number three, I love this man. I think he's the greatest James Bond all round for a person that loved being in the role and fans loving him, and that is Roger Moore. Roger Moore at number three. He never truly played Ian Fleming's James Bond. He did in parts, especially, well, for the most part of For Your Eyes Only. He was great. Octopussy, he played some real hard, dark moments in that, shooting a young Russian soldier in the head. And A View to a Kill, I mean, he kind of discovered his Bond a bit too late at the age of 57. But wow, he was so invested. But the thing is, the shtick, especially of The Spy Who Loved Me, and well, particularly Moonraker, kind of hurt his Bond. So he never fully was Fleming's Bond, but he was in parts, especially with the lifestyle aspects. He certainly was. But with the killer stuff, look, he was great in The Man with the Golden Gun. I think he's so underrated in that film as well, especially when he's slapping Anders around. So Roger Moore, God bless you, Sir Rog. Oh, now I appreciate you more and more as James Bond. I think you're amazing. And of course, guys, if you've caught up with my top 5 Bond film video, I did my countdown from 25. Roger Moore had 3 films in the top 5. Pretty darn impressive. Go check it out if you haven't. Number two. Okay. This is one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my life, apart from doing Billy Eilish videos where I knew I was going to get crucified. But anyway, number 2 is Sean Connery. Now, Sean Connery is number 1 and number 2. You're like, what? Okay, let me explain this. To me, Sean Connery is the best film Bond, and I don't think anyone will ever come near him for film star Bond. He's cool, he's suave, he's tough. He's Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He's just a killer, thriller, real diller. The guy is amazing. But after From Russia with Love, he never truly played Ian Fleming's James Bond again. Diamonds Are Forever was the first Roger Moore film without Roger Moore. Do you know what I mean? He was really kind of more like Roger Moore than Roger Moore was Roger Moore. You Only Live Twice, he didn't want to be there. Thunderball, he was smooth and cool and tough in parts, but the film now started to kind of play it itself and a little bit too clever. Goldfinger, he was so smooth and so cool, but the edge was gone. If you compare Connery's performance in Goldfinger, though it was so suave, but you compare it to the rawness of his performances in Dr. No and From Russia with Love, where there was this almost like nervous actor's edge. Now, what do I mean by nervous actor's edge? This guy was trying to get a career. So Dr. No and From Russia with Love, there was so much intent and tension on him to get it right in style, and especially bring out the Fleming Bond into his performance, and he did it incredibly. If he had kept going with that, he would be at my number one. So the number one is Timothy Dalton, my all-time favourite James Bond. Why? Okay, well, look, Connery's my all-time favourite, like I said, film-wise. But my all-time favourite as far as the truest, honest, best Ian Fleming incarnation of the character we've ever seen is Timothy Dalton. Puts a knife to Lupe's throat, make a sound, and you're dead. I mean, you know he's going to kill her. He's so good in that. His scenes with M, well, if it has to be done. And that scene with Pushkin, he's got the gun to him. Wow. Wow, wow. Bing, 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 bing. Bonza! Bazinga! Dalton, woo! Dalton is the man. What a pity he never did Goldeneye and he never got his third film, which was rumoured to be Property of a Lady. So, Timothy Dalton brought Ian Fleming's character onto the big screen like we hadn't seen since Connery in From Russia with Love, but even more so with more depth. And he's he is the best actor. He's the best trained actor. So separate him from Bond, he's the actual best trained actor. And you watch, he does a thing in acting called subtext. So when another character's talking, so he's sharing a scene with another character and they're talking, you can see him listening to what they're saying and he's actually thinking. A lot of actors can't do that and don't do that. But Dalton does it like that. The other actor that does it incredibly well, probably better than anyone that's ever lived, is Sir Anthony Hopkins. He is an incredible subtext actor. The way he listens, and especially if you watch Anthony Hopkins in a film called Shadowlands, wow, his performance is incredible in that. So guys, that is my top 6 countdown. Timothy Dalton at number 1. What do you guys think? And no, I haven't included Woody Allen or any of those twats in that spoof Casino Royale because I've never seen it and I never want to see it. But I'd love to know in the comments below, what are your 6 rankings? What do you think of mine? Be honest, you don't have to like them. That's fine. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And guys, what do I always say? Till next time, keep on bonding and say hi to your mum for me.
Lashana Lynch, I'm a real woman. You know why? I'll tell you a secret. 'Cause I've got a pussy!